How can you become a database administrator? So that's a question I receive very often here on my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at how you can become a database administrator and what challenges you run into and what is the best approach for this endeavor. Hi, my name is Christoph. I'm your IT career guide. So for this video, we will focus on the Microsoft world in information technology. I also assume that you have some sort of an IT-related college degree or that you are working already in information technology, be it as a help desk or a system administrator as an example. If you have zero IT knowledge, well, this video is probably not for you, and you might want to look at to get your feet wet by finding your first role like in help desk or junior system administrator. But for anyone who wants to become a database administrator without any work experience, let's say you have IT work experience but not database work experience, it will be a stretch. And the helping hand that I want to give you here is really follow the Microsoft certification path for two IT certifications that Microsoft currently offers, the DP 300 and the DP 900, which will take you to a beginner and maybe even intermediate level, at least from a knowledge perspective, so that you can make that first step into database administration. So why should you consider becoming a database administrator? So I think this specific role really is one that, yes, it will change over the years, but this type of role will barely go away. There are other jobs that are potentially be eliminated, be it by AI or by automation, or their entire, I want to say, outlook changes in a very different direction. But database administrators, yes, the platform changes, but there are certain things that will be the same. And that's really where I think that this job is fairly future-proof. I don't want to say for the next 20 years. I don't know. Technology changes so fast, so I'm not looking that far ahead into the future. But if you look at your career in a 3 to 5 year increment from a planning perspective, then being a database administrator is a very good choice to work in IT. Plus, and that's not a bad thing either, database administrators are paid very well. And depending on which company you work for, there's really a lot of opportunity for growth, for challenge. So something that really makes this job interesting and not like a mundane, repetitive type of task. Of course, there are repetitive tasks, but overall, there are a lot of good challenges for database administrators compared to the day-to-day tasks that a system administrator has, as an example. So I already mentioned the two Microsoft certifications, the DP 300 and 900. And of course, you can go all the way through and become certified. But what I want you to do here really is look at the curriculum for these two Microsoft certifications and just follow the study path. It gives you a structured path towards database administration. And ideally, you go for the certification, so have that as a goal. And then with that certification under your belt, you can actually showcase that you have the knowledge and that you know what it takes to become a database administrator. What I like about using IT certification in any way really is that structured approach. And if you follow a mainstream certification or from a main large provider like Microsoft, there's a lot of third-party support as well. So you can find boot camps, training classes, courses outside of the official Microsoft recommended study material. And that often makes it easier. You can also find really classes where you can attend in person and then talk to the trainer or the coach and get your questions answered. So because this is a very complex role with quite a few challenges, so it's very important that you know really what to follow, what study structure to have, because otherwise it's easy to miss the goal and then, well, you think you have what it takes to be a database administrator and, well, you don't. So the two certifications, the DP 900 is the beginner course and the DP 300 is the intermediate. The DP 900 is the Microsoft Azure Data Fundamentals, and DP 300 is administering the Microsoft Azure SQL solutions. No matter your approach in regards to becoming a DBA of some sort, here are a few things I want you to focus on. So first of all, focus on understanding SQL, the SQL, the language. That's something that is overlapping into other database platforms, not just on the Microsoft side. So if you develop your skill set and really fine-tune it, this will be an incremental step towards success. However, this is also a fundamental step towards success, because if you can master SQL language and really execute database queries and anything that comes with it, you will have an advantage really in this role, and it can make a big difference if you land a job or not. The next thing that is important to you that you should focus on, really understand the difference between the different platforms. What is SQL Server? What are Oracle? What is MySQL? So the next thing really to focus on is to understand the differences between the different platforms. So it's not just SQL Server out there or MySQL. Then you run into the cloud-based database services like Amazon with RDS. And of course, the Azure SQL databases. Then you have things like NoSQL. And you need to get that proper understanding about the different platforms. Focus on one platform in the beginning. That's really the important part. Just know what the other ones represent, specifically the difference between an on-prem solution and something that is sitting in the cloud. So that's a fundamental piece where if you understand the different type of solution, that can help you to look at a certain project that you're being tasked with executing as a DBA to pick the right platform. Focus on one vendor. So be it like Microsoft on the SQL Server side or with Azure, once you focus on one and master it, it will be easier for you to change platforms. But I would say in general, with this type of technology, by focusing on one vendor with that platform, like be it Azure, it really gives you a benefit, because that's really where you can shine and then deliver much better solutions. So very important to understand the differences and then make sure to focus on one. No matter the platform, you need to develop your skill set in performance tuning and troubleshooting databases. That's a very important part of your day-to-day activity. It's not just creating a database structure and working with the application developers and the other parts of the team that are involved in this project. As an example, you need to be able to identify performance issues. You need to be able to size the system correctly. You need to know how to scale it correctly. So the performance tuning and also troubleshooting situations, if you fail here, you will have difficulty succeeding in this role as a DBA. I mentioned NoSQL already. I also want to mention big data. Really take a look at just not the platform, but also data itself. So the role as a DBA has changed over the years. So if you have that broader understanding of what you're actually dealing with and what is trying to be put into the database and what is supposed to be the outcome, very important. And yeah, big data is something, data collection worldwide with all the different web services and there is a lot of data that needs to be manipulated and I want to say massaged for proper reporting, making conclusions, and then delivering solutions based on those findings. So those are the highlights of what you need to look at if you want to become a database administrator. Let me know in the comments what your plan is, what are you looking at, and what questions do you have. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so as well. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and then I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.